Nasdaq production.
Man, markets, man, they're so interesting to me. It's honestly unreal. In 2 3 days, like you could see people switch up so fast. It is crazy. So literally, we had 3 nice green days, and then one day, and people are like, "Oh no, it's all over. Like it's happening. It's the world's gonna end here. It is officially over. We're gonna get exploded here." And people just absolutely like it's nuts to me. But we're still in this pattern though. So like I'm thinking, why panic? Like why panic? It literally looks like we're recreating what happened at like late February, beginning of March, where it took a while to bottom here, and then we got that push. But overall, it looks like this pattern is intact. We have one, two, you could say 3 touches on the upper trend line and quite a few touches on the lower trend line. We're stuck in this. Now, I have a thumbnail and it says market crash. But if you watch my videos, you know I don't think the market's going to crash. Like, man, like how many YouTube videos, the thumbnails is literally like, prepare for what's coming, it's all over. And it's like, yo, I hate the fact that like mine also says that, but like the content itself, like I'm not trying to tell you the market's gonna crash. I do think the economy is in shambles essentially, but that doesn't necessarily mean the market's gonna crash. The more headlines I see about that, the more bullish it makes me. Like, what if next week we just rip? Like everyone's gonna be like, what? Like, this market is pure chop city. What you think is gonna happen is not gonna happen. That's as simple as that. Like when I'm looking at the Nasdaq and the S&P, they're still in the same pattern, but people are tripping. So it's like it's super interesting to me. It just shows a lot of like when you let emotion come into play, right? It really can screw up your judgment and can really skew you to a certain bias. So that's why right now I think is the perfect time to watch, because it's so volatile right now, and we've seen that right in the past few days, right? Huge red day, 2 green days, red day, 3 green days, two huge, not huge, but like two decent red days. So it's like it ignites the fear. It creates people to get emotional, and like as long as you're on top of that and you just understand like, right? We zoom out, we look at this chart, and you just go, okay, it makes sense that we had a huge push and now we're just taking the time. Like, let's just let it take its time. But what I'm waiting for is once we start seeing like news networks being like stock market crash, that's when you know it's the bottom. That's when you know. So like there can't be anything more bullish than like you wake up in the morning to watch CHCH or the American one, CNN or whatever it is, CNBC, all these news channels and shit, and these are like broadcasters who know nothing about markets, and they're just like, the S&P has been down so much over the X amount of days, and it's like they're just reading a script. So it's just mad funny because like they convince the average person that like the markets are getting like destroyed, but like if you really look at the pattern, like this will lead us, it needs to go low for us to go higher in the future, if that makes sense. Like people are probably watching this video like, this guy knows nothing, he's fucked, he's talking out of his ass. And I'm like, yo dude, just look at the chart, dude. Like until it actually has a market like dump, like what was the day called, Black Monday or some shit, I don't know, that day where like everything dropped drastically, then is when you go, oh shit, look what happened. But like position yourself, man, to be optimistic. Like I made that like a quote on one of my previous videos, because it's like no one's forcing you to invest right now, right? Then chill and wait. If it's that, like, if it makes you that nervous, then pull your money out. Then do it, right? Like, do what makes you comfortable. You don't have to you don't have to trip. Have conviction. So like, what is conviction, dude? What are you talking about? Like, well, do some research on companies or, a few stocks or whatever that you feel like are solid investments. Like Shopify, like come on now. Come on now, right? Like we come on now, right? Like we know that this company eventually, once all this bullshit, especially after the split, wait till the split comes. What is it? A 10-to-1 split? This is going to be worth $40. Is it? Is that math right? 480 divided by 10. Yeah. $48. You're telling me Shopify for $48? People are going to see that and they're going to be like, holy shit, dude, I want this stock. Like, it's the number is going to go up. Like, people are tripping big time. But yeah, like the markets, in my opinion, long the shit. Long term, long the shit. Shopify, that's a bag right there. Like that's a steal. Can't go wrong with Apple. Like this is get conviction on a stock. People are tripping, but Apple's still in a clear range. Like Apple's not free falling. Like it's not like Netflix. Like how can you have conviction on Netflix when it's done that? Look at these gaps left behind. I still do think it'll probably eventually fill the gaps at some point. But like, yo, like crypto's a scam. Like crypto's this. Look what just happened to Netflix. What about Facebook? Yo, like, okay, get conviction and long it. Like the S&P and the Nasdaq are still in nice ranges. Like this is just normal. Like it needed to happen because we literally went up over 100% on overall markets since 2020. Like we need time to, consolidate, develop a new pattern, get the stocks that are extremely overvalued back to a mean, and then we could restart that shit all over again. I wouldn't panic. There's nothing to be panicked about unless you are unable to manage risk wisely and you're just like, screw it, I'm all in, let's send it. The market's bottoming, but then it's still taking its time to bottom, and then you lose more money because you didn't manage your risk. So again, like, check out the video I posted previously on the overall markets and Bitcoin and shit. We're in a range. There's nothing to trip about. Peace.